let's get into it. Hey, today I want to talk about the only pour-over dripper you need to buy, or if you were to only buy one pour-over dripper, which one should it be? This is a great video because I get asked this all the time, especially for people who are getting into brewing specialty coffee at home. They want to know what pour-over dripper they should buy as their first dripper. But before we get into which dripper that should be, my name is Rowsell, and if this is the first time that we're meeting, I want to help you make better coffee at home and also help you see coffee for more than caffeine. If you're into coffee videos and you want to make better coffee at home, consider hitting that subscribe button down below. So which dripper is the only dripper that you need to buy? Well, I would argue that it's the Origami Dripper. And yes, this is one of the most popular drippers on the market now. If you've been scrolling Instagram about any kind of coffee content, you've probably seen this Origami Dripper before. But if you haven't, let me introduce you to it. This is another dripper designed and engineered in Japan. It's absolutely beautiful. It comes in multiple different colors and its design is just stunning. Now, I'm not picking this because it's beautiful, but it really truly does do the part. But why this dripper over every other dripper is the only one that you need to buy? Now today, I'm not gonna compare it to all of these drippers. In fact, I'm gonna start to eliminate some of these right now and explain why I'm going to do that. The first one I'm gonna get rid of on this table is the Chemex. While the Chemex is respected, it's really designed for bigger cups of coffee, and I often find myself brewing from 12.5 grams up to about 20 grams of coffee. And this just seems to be a little too big for that. The other one I'm gonna remove from this table is the Aeropress. And while the Aeropress is the most versatile brewer, much more versatile than even the Origami, it's not a percolation dripper. This is an immersion style dripper. So I don't think it's fair to compare this and a taste test to the Origami. The other one I'm gonna remove today is the Stag X from Fellow. This is their smaller of the two drippers that they offer, and this is one of my favorite, if not my favorite dripper currently. But what it offers is very similar to the Kalita Wave and being a flat bottom dripper. Because this is twice the price than anything else on this table, and because this is probably less popular than anything on this table, I'm gonna remove this and compare this in the Battle of the Pour-Over Drippers video that I'm working on.
Okay.
So that leaves us with these three. And right now, these are probably easily the most popular pour-over drippers, other than maybe the Chemex and the Aeropress on the market. The V60, the Kalita Wave, and the Origami Dripper. The Origami Dripper is not just beautiful, it's actually incredibly versatile. It can take both V60 filters and it can take Kalita Wave filters. It can use flat bottom filters in a conical dripper. That's amazing. The reason why I can do that is it's got these little ridges, and the ridges in the actual Kalita Wave filter actually sit right inside those ridges. But it gives a very different flavor profile than the conical dripper, which we'll talk more about later in this video. On the other hand, the V60 is a conical brewer like the Origami. Again, I'm not saying that the V60 is lesser than the Origami. I'm not even saying that the Origami is better. What I'm saying is it's more versatile, and if I was only to buy one, I'd buy the Origami. But that being said, currently I'm really enjoying the cups that I get off the Origami, and I've kind of stopped using my V60. On the bottom of this dripper is a larger hole than that of the V60. The Origami dripper has a hole that's about 5 millimeters larger. Now, with these two drippers, it needs to be noted that this is the small size of the Origami dripper, and it also comes in some other sizes as well. If you want something more comparable to the O2 size of the Hario V60, you're gonna wanna get that medium size Origami dripper. But because I already have the O2 V60, I opted for the small Origami.
Yeah, totally. That makes sense. That makes sense.
And if you're in that same boat where you already have the O2 V60, I would recommend trying the small Origami. I think it brews some excellent cups and it gives some versatile for some smaller batches. But enough about talking about that. Let's actually brew some coffee and I'll compare the taste. Okay, so we've got 3 drippers and 3 filters. We're gonna be using the Hario V60 filter on this, the O2, the actual proprietary Origami small filter on this guy, and then we're gonna be using Kalita Wave 185 filter on this. Now, again, I could use the Kalita filter on the Origami, but I'm gonna decide against it for this video simply because I actually prefer the clarity and sweetness of the conical filter to the flat bottom filter. In this video, I'm gonna be using 18 grams of one of my favorite coffees right now. So I'm gonna brew this coffee, but while you wait, let's do a coffee montage. Yes! So we've got our V60, our Origami Dripper, and our Kalita wave. We had a drawdown time of 3 minutes and 20 seconds on the V60. We had a drawdown time of 3:05 on the Origami and 3:30 on the Kalita wave. So the Kalita wave was the longest, the Origami was the quickest, but they were all within 15 to 30 seconds of each other. Very juicy, very sweet, a lot of acidity, a lot of clarity, probably less body, more tea-like, but very good cup of coffee. Right away, I can notice that this has a lot more clarity, definitely more acidic than that of the V60. I think a lot of that would have to do with the faster flow rate, which leaves a cup that is more clear with a little bit more acidity, a little less sweetness, but definitely a cup that I would enjoy personally. But overall, very, very similar. The Kalita wave, like expected, a little more sweet than these guys. The extraction time was a little bit longer, and that definitely speaks to the sweetness that I'm finding in the cup here. The mouthfeel on the Kalita is a little bit heavier than that of the Origami. The Origami is very tea-like, it's very light, and the Kalita is very heavy. The acidity is highest on definitely the Origami. The sweetness on the V60 is fantastic. For me, I do love the Kalita, especially for certain coffees, but it's naturally processed Bolivian coffee. I'm definitely drawn towards these two. Amazing cup of coffee, but definitely, yeah, on the sweeter side, less acidity. Barely any acidity at all compared to these two. But the Origami is fantastic. I think it's got even more clarity than that of the V60. And that is incredible because the V60 is known for being a brewer with high clarity, incredible sweetness, can really bring out all of the nuances and clarity in a coffee. And I think the Origami is even greater at that. But that doesn't mean the V60 is disqualified. Again, some people won't like the acidity on the Origami. That can also be definitely muted by using the flat bottom filters instead of the conical filters, as well as grinding a little bit finer, slowing that flow rate down a little bit, and muting the acidity and replacing that with sweetness. All of the products used today are gonna be linked down in the description below. If you wanna pick yourself up an Origami Dripper, a V60, a Kalita wave, any of these drippers, I'm gonna link them all down below for your ease. So what do you think? Am I right in this? The only brewer that you would buy, would you buy the Origami, would you buy the Kalita wave, or would you buy the V60? I really want to hear from you, so please let me know in the comments down below which dripper would you buy if you only had to buy one, or if you're instructing a friend on one dripper to buy. Would it be the V60, the Origami Dripper, or the Kalita wave? Please let me know in the comments down below. If this video was at all helpful or you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like. And again, if you're new around here, please subscribe for more videos like this one, including some more comparisons on some drippers in the days to come. In the meantime, continue to brew great coffee and continue to brew at home. Peace. We'll see you guys in the next video.